Maskeyle şey yapıyor demez. Yani başladı herhalde. Doğru mu? Dear, welcome dear participants. Today our the first session in our congress is going to start today. First, normally the first session is abdulfettah Salem Saadi, but yesterday Meerim Kınaliyeva cannot present her presentation because of internet connection problems in her country. But she sent us her video, and first we will start with her videos. I want, first of all, I want you to close your microphones during presentations. Thank you very much. Now we will start. İzin. Tamam, verdim.
My name is Abdelnasir Salem Saadi.
Now we will start with presentation of Meerim Kınaliyeva.
Abdelfettah مازال.
Tamam, çıktı galiba. Çıkıyor.
شنو نبدول هذا وشنو هذا؟ دكتور سيركال. دكتور دكتور سيركان.
يا عبد الفتاح بتعرض واحدة اسمها مريم يا عبد الفتاح قبلك.
Mr. Abdelfettah, can you stop your sharing because she is presenting her research. After her research, you will start your presentation, please. Şimdi başla.
غريب الصوت ما عندهاش.
English, Italian, French, Turkish language, then we hire interpreters. There is an advantage to hiring interpreters to act between A language and B language. For example, interpreters are translating from English language. He can choose whether to translate in the Russian or to translate in the Kurdish language. In the situation with the marketing of the hybrid, of course, it's different because there is the problem of the scarcity of interpreters who can, for example, translate into Chinese or French or Italian or Urdu or Pashto languages. Yes, we do have them, but there is a great scarcity. They may be busy, they may be outside of the country for their business trip, or they may not be professional interpreters, just as users of Chinese or French languages. So translation languages, translation services might be provided for a definite group of people in order to ensure their linguistic competence. So in occasional cases, or we can provide occasional translation when there is a need to translate for a couple of people, 3 or 5, or a small group of people who do not understand this or that group. And in translation science, it is called as whispering translation during the conferences when we provide simultaneous whispering translation for 2 or 3 or even a group of people. And of course, we can either provide consecutive translation for these people just only in case if we have a representative or the person or interpreter who can speak their language. And the main successful point or a very good solution will be to hire an interpreter despite the number of the people, because the authority of the meeting and authority of the organization, of course, and responsibility bears to act this way. Of course, we shouldn't forget the fact that we can enroll individuals who speak that language and who can try to translate. But if the person is not trained, if he doesn't have a professional training in interpretation, of course, the quality of translation may not be the way we want. So in multilingual societies, we should take into consideration the problem of translation competence and translation adequacy, because interpreter who is bilingual or who is trilingual and who is going to translate to bilingual society or trilingual society should bear in mind that the source language and the target language may belong to one group, one family group, or maybe totally different. And within the message, within this group of the message senders and within the group of the message recipients, there might be trilinguals, or so to say, the representatives who can speak various, plenty language, many languages, so to say. And of course, there is room when an interpreter should translate only, for example, from Russian into English, and he cannot choose whether to translate into Russian, into Kyrgyz, or into Turkish, and whatever. Because we do have a protocol and an agreement when we are being hired by a client. So we should take into consideration the competence of a message sender and the message recipient, and plus competence of an interpreter. When talking about the competence of an interpreter, we should we mean it's his background, his professional trainings, and the knowledge, the field of expertise, and ability of an interpreter to work in various situations, providing consecutive translation, whispering translation, or simultaneous translation. So this all types of translation requires various mental load, various efforts, and of course the result may also be different. It again depends on the mental capacity. I don't want to say mental capacity, but this is the ability to grasp information depending on the situation, or data processing, so to say. So I have written here cognitive processes, because it includes cohesion, understanding, comprehension, and ability to verify the translation units, ability to check, compare the linguistic structures he is working in. We should take into consideration that a translator may use his intercomprehension. Both message sender may also use his intercomprehension when he will be receiving or sending a message in order to understand or comprehend the message. We or translators use this intercomprehension technique in our everyday life when we work from source, when we translate source text with the target text. But of course, the fact is deniable that the introduction of the sophisticated technologies in the field of computerized or automatized technologies, like an introduction of the software programs and machine translation devices that can provide translation, the need or necessity in human translation may a bit decrease, but I can surely say that these old devices are successfully being used by interpreters in order to provide adequate translation, and maybe in some cases raise their professional skills. Or enhance their professional skills. So when we talk about bilingual interpreters, we should take into consideration that their cognitive abilities are much more stronger in accordance with in comparison with their unilingual interpreters and or monolingual interpreters, so to say, because in translation process, linguistic analysis plays a great role. analytical skills and meta-linguistic awareness is a main factor which can ensure translation adequacy. Of course, multilingual and interlinguistic comprehension may enable the communication and people who can speak different languages may understand each other on the basis of their own respective competencies. Of course, intercomprehension in translation may be used as an alternative model to convey the message and render the message. But of course, again, this is very successful when we translate within the languages which belong to one and the same linguistic family, because we can compare, understand, and find similarities between these two languages, like the same situation when we translate from Kyrgyz into Kazakh, or from Kazakh into Kyrgyz, or when we translate from Kyrgyz into Turkish even, and when we translate from Turkish into Azerbaijani and on the contrary, and Slavonic languages as Russian and Ukrainian, because the stems may be alike, and it may play a key factor to grasp or just the meaning of the message. So I would like to present you a few examples that was taken from the translators of my students. So they've been providing translation from English into a target language, that is Kyrgyz. But as you see here, since we live in a multilingual society, exactly here in the examples, I've taken the influence of the Russian language and the influence of the Turkish language into the translation abilities of my students. So in the sentence, in the first sentence, the word Mr. President was translated into Kyrgyz as Mr. President, and the word organizers was rendered as Organizatorlar, which I can suppose is the influence or the dominance of the Russian language, while in Kyrgyz language, Mr. should be translated as Urmattu and Organizatorlar should be translated as Uyuşturucular. Though in our society, Mr. President and Organizatorlar also may be understood by our population, since they speak Russian languages, they understand Russian language. There is a need to adhere the rules and establish peace on the territory. So in the second sentence, the word rules, which should be translated as ereciler or nizamlar into Kyrgyz language, was translated as kurallar. The word kural from Turkish language means rules, and this is the reliance on the Turkish language. So I can suppose that here there is the problem of the comprehension when the bilingual uses lacunas in order to fulfill or substitute the word or translation unit. Next sentence, today the situation is different politically and psychologically. The word politically was translated as politikалық. This is the transliteration of the word politically, and in Kyrgyz language, into Kyrgyz language, it should be translated as sayasi. In the next sentence, the word discrimination was translated as diskriminatsiya. So this is again a transcription and transliteration technique, though we have to translate as basmırlı. So the problem, the remaining sentences also comprises examples when the word was translated or transliterated and transcripted. Just maybe I think our interpreters or the author of this translations just relied on the comprehension of the word or the message by our public who is supposed to speak Turkish, Russian, or other target language. Of course, we should say that it is the undeniable fact that it sheds really great shame on the quality of translation, on the professional status of an interpreter, and such mistakes should be avoided, despite the fact that there is the presence of multilinguals or multilingual society, and we should never change, we should never substitute the word if even we know that it may be comprehended by the recipients. So I think that the reasons of such mistakes are as follows, like the language dominance. Here in the examples taken by me are Russian language and Turkish language, and reliance on intercomprehension. So interpreter realizes that the message will be more or less understood because the target group speaks Russian or Turkish language. The absence of the quality control of translation. So here translator do not bear responsibility and translates in a very relaxed mode. Next one is the insufficient linguistic training, when we need more training and more selective, I would say, translation, when we have to follow the rules and translate the given terms, terminology for. And it may be in the case of the translation services when they are provided on an informal basis, when there is no need to be focused, very much focused on the terminology, and we can only use communicative approach in order to provide translation, where the main message, where the main focus is to render the meaning of the message. And of course, we can conclude by saying that this again bears to the professional competence of a translator. Whatever the situation is, whether we're working for bilinguals or multilinguals, we have to follow the strict rule, and we should follow the language pair that we are working for and from. So in conclusion, once again, I would like to express my many thanks to Mr. DİLEK for organizing of this conference, and I really feel very pity, and I'm sorry that I couldn't attend a morning session since I have classes. I have had classes today, and I finished at 1 o'clock. And I hope that you will watch, and if you have some questions, you can address to my Gmail. Thank you very much. Goodbye.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much for Miss Meerim Kınaliyeva. And now we will go on by our Abdulfettah Salem Saadi. Are you Mr. Abdulfettah? Mr. Abdulfettah, can you open your microphone? Mr. Abdulfettah, can you open your microphone? Mr. Abdulfettah.
Bir saniye. Tamam.
Açtım. Now, Mr. Abdelfettah Saadi will present his research. We give 10 minutes for each presentation, please. Mr. Abdelfettah, can you start your presentation?
Okay, ne?
Mr. Abdelfettah, can you start? Mr. Abdelfettah, can you start? Mr. Abdelfettah, can you start, please?
Tamam, bir saniye.
Duyulmuyor ki. Duyuyor musun sen?
Okay. Hi, sirs. My name is Abdelnasir Salem Saadi. My topic is the relationship between organizational culture and knowledge sharing. Introduction. Today, the criteria of organization success is intellectual capital rate. Therefore, knowledge essential for organizations that need their knowledge to require to achieve a competitive advantage. Knowledge sharing is the process where employees transfer knowledge as well as create new knowledge together in order to convert individual knowledge into organizational knowledge. Knowledge sharing within an organization is a necessary practice for the success and sustainability of the performance. One of the foremost determinants that have been considered for knowledge sharing is organization culture. Some of the strategically important benefits of knowledge sharing include connection professionals across platforms, across distances, avoiding mistakes, leveraging best practices, reducing time to talent, building reputation, and taking oversee for strategic capabilities, facility. Knowledge sharing is one of the basic processes of knowledge management in today's organizations. Research aim. We aim to understand what significance can organizational culture play for knowledge sharing organizations. Organizational culture. Describe it, organizational culture as the norms, beliefs, values, and practices committed by organizational members to maintain and develop firm goals without negatively affecting the welfare of the organization or its members. The organizational culture and the capabilities of the employees are affected by how they are managed, and therefore training and the skill development of the workforce is critical. Modern organizations characterized by high levels knowledge. It is difficult for managers to directly contact what employees do due to the complexity of the work done, and because the knowledge workers are used to autonomously. Organizations often aim to build strong cultures in order to develop and retain their skills. Employees. Every organization is characterized by specific culture. Some cultures contribute to the effective function of companies, while others hamper their effectiveness. Organizational culture identified with certain values and can be critical for knowledge sharing practices. Knowledge sharing. Knowledge sharing is the process where employees transfer tacit and explicit knowledge as well as create knowledge together in order to convert individual knowledge into organizational knowledge. Knowledge sharing. There are many potential barriers that are important to consider and overcome in order to facilitate knowledge sharing. For example, reduced recognition of importance and usefulness of knowledge held by others and lack of time to share knowledge. Knowledge sharing process is closely connected to theories of learning and communication knowledge transmission. requires that an individual of group cooperate with others to share knowledge and achieve mutual benefits. Conclusion and recommendation should flow light on how the relationship between organizational culture and knowledge sharing manifested in organization. Understand what significance organization culture can have knowledge sharing. In this time following many studies executed on the significance of intellectual capital. It has been widely considered as a viable capital by organization implementing knowledge management consequently. Knowledge creation is, as a matter of fact, one of the knowledge management dimensions of great value, which can be found in almost all models. It is generally acknowledged that the organizational culture affects how knowledge processes develop, such as knowledge sharing. Thanks to conference committee.
We thank Mr. Abdelfettah Saadi. Of course, both knowledge sharing and organizational culture are critical key factors in achieving enterprises' goals. Is there anything you want to ask? Is there any question? Is there any question? I think there is no question. Of course, now we will go on by Mr. Omar Elramalli, but I want to say that please close your microphones during presentations. Only presenter will speak. By this way, we will have no conflict in voices. Thank you very much. Mr. Omar, are you here?
Thank you, sir.
Mr. Abdelfettah, can you stop sharing, please?
Tamam.
Mr. Omar.
Yes.
Mr. Omar. Hello, welcome, Mr. Omar. Now, please close microphones. Only Mr. Omar microphone can be opened during the presentation, please.
Okay.
Now, Mr. Omar, you can start. Each presentation is 10 minutes. Please start now.
Okay. Hello, everyone. Good morning. I'm Omar Muhammad Elramalli. I'm lecturer at Salem University in Libya. Title of my paper is Historical Review of Human Resource Management Practices, Literature Review. Yes. I think there is a problem. Yes. Introduction. Human resource management has gained its importance through concern for the human element as the main factor in increasing production and achieving goals. The success and failure of organization is dependent on the human factor. So the best investment for the organization should be directed to working individuals. Also, human resource management contributes to creating a competitive advantage by developing human competencies. and is an important element in creating a link to its practices and performance. In order for human resource management to function very well, have two aims to achieve practical solutions to real work's problem, and an organization gains competitive advantages by using its people effectively to achieve the goals. Method. This paper is historical analysis will show how human resource management development in organizations is over time. The research method used is to highlight the literature and books in this scope. Definition of human resource management. Human resource management can be defined as the process of analyzing and managing an organization's human resource needs to ensure satisfaction of its strategic objective. Also, the policies and practices involved in carrying out the people or human resource aspects of management position, including recruitment, screening, training, and pricing. It's the management of work and people towards desired ends. Origin of human resource management. Number one, the Second World War. Historian Page Smith, 1984, called that era as the war between capital and labor, as they were already in a state of war, and the level of violence led to the destruction of property. In the early 20th century and before the Second World War, the function of the human resource department was to keep employee records. The main orientation was to increase employee productivity, and it was believed that this is the best way to do the work by studying time and movement, so that the worker can be collected during the average working day. And this method was considered the most effective way to motivate workers at this point in history. Post the Second World War, from 1945 to 1960, the labor movement and exploitation had a major impact on the promotion of personal jobs during the war. After the war ended, unions and societies confirmed the need to increase employee motivation by using social and physical factors in addition to money. Efforts have been made to make the work groups provide better employment, reduce opportunities and selection. These procedures included details of the tasks, duties and responsibilities that define the conditions for job seekers. Social issues era from 1963 to 1980. This period experienced a significant increase in the performance and implementation for labor legislation and labor union. Encouraging work-related issues such as health and safety, making everything transparent and non-favoritism in employment practices. Human resource management needs to collect, evaluate, and maintain data for all functions such as recruitment, compensation, training, and benefits. That's how the Human Resource Department debated. Cost effectiveness era from 1980 to the early 1990s. Trade unions played a role in the economic boom that occurred in industrialized countries, which contributed to creating better working conditions such as health care, which contributed to the rise in labor costs. The human resource function has evolved to protect the individual with the increasing importance of employee participation. It changed the focus for returning employees to getting the best for them. Enterprise resource planning and strategic human resource management from 1990 to 2010. The economic landscape underwent radical changes throughout the 1990s with increasing globalization, technological breakthroughs, and strong competition. Strategic human resource management became critically important in management thinking and practice. Human resource and intellectual capital of employees were increasingly viewed as a strategic asset and competitive advantage in improving organizational performance. Human resource management practices. A set of practices were selected based on their importance in the literature reviewed, and they are as follows. Recruitment and selection. Recruit and selection has become ever more important as organizations increasingly regard their workforce as a source of competitive advantage. Recruitment and selection play an important role in the performance and effectiveness of the organization. The ability of the organization to win over workers who possess the capabilities, skills, and knowledge to do business will lead to improved performance. Organizations view their workforce as a source of competitive advantage. So choosing workers is not done in order to replace or add to the number of employees who have left work. Training and development. Training is the systematic modification of behavior through learning, which occurs as a result of education, instruction, development, and planned experience. Development is attempt to improve employee by increasing an employee's ability to perform through learning by increasing their skills and knowledge, while training is seen to be the process of imparting specific skills. Compensation. This compensation measuring job value, designing and sustaining pay structure being for performance, competence, and skill, and providing employee benefit. However, compensation management is not just about money. It is also interested with that non-monetary compensation which provides substantially or extrinsic motivation. Compensation has a motivational effect and therefore means that having a compensation structure in which the employees who perform better are paid more than the average performing employees is vital to enhancing organization performance. Performance appraisal. Performance appraisal of employees is one of the oldest and widely used management practices, and it is a systematic evaluation of employee performance and potential for development during a certain period of time by supervisors or other who are known with their performance. Performance appraisal is a necessary tool for an organization because the information it provides is very helpful in decision-making issues like promotion, training, and development. It may also increase employees' commitment and satisfaction. Yeah. Employment security. Employment security is important to implementing management practices such as selective and training. Therefore, it is unlikely that the organization will invest in employees training and employment if it is not expected that these workers will remain in the organization for enough period to benefit from this investment. On the other hand, employment does not mean that the organization keeps people who are not working effectively. Employee participation through experience and efforts to solve problems and make decisions helps the organization achieve its mission and goals. employee participation impacts on the performance of the employee and the organization as a whole in terms of making decisions, reducing costs, and reducing product cycle times. In order for organizations to realize the capabilities that the employees have, they should not view them as a machine or as a gear in hurry. Information sharing and knowledge management. Information sharing is important and fundamental to business system for two reasons. The first reason is that it conveys to employees in the organization that they are trusted. And the second reason is that employees cannot improve their organizational performance unless they have information on how perform, use, and interpret the information. On the other hand, information sharing affects the effectiveness of the organization as they benefit from each other's ideas for the benefit of the organization, which in turn makes it competitive. Job design is a logical sequence of job analysis that include efforts to organize tasks, duties, and responsibilities into a business unit to achieve organizational goals. The process of job design has been defined as a specification of the contents, methods, and relationship of jobs in order to satisfy technological and organizational requirements and person of the job holder. Career planning is the process through which someone becomes aware of his or her personal skills, interests, knowledge, motivation, or information about opportunities and option, identifies career-related goals, and establishes action plans to achieve a specific goal. A conclusion and a recommendation. The performance of employees in the organization is not only related to well-prepared human resource management practices, but also its connection with a strong and coherent organization vision. So, human resource management practices are an important way to enhance positive results, and this depends on the worker's response to these practices. It is imperative for the organizations to ensure that investment in their human resource and human resource practice will attract and keep skillful people. Thank you for listening.
Thank you, Mr. Omar Elramalli. Is there any question to Mr. Omar Elramalli? Of course, today human resources is very important for achieving goals of enterprises and firms. To be more competitive, firms should focus on their human resources, especially labor and of course labor and human resources is the most important production factor of firms today. Do you have any question to Mr. Omar Elramalli? Okay, I think there is no question. Now time is for Mr. Khaled Benshina and Orhan Küçük, but please limit your presentation with 10 minutes. We have other sessions. Mr. Khaled Benshina, are you there?
Yes, I'm listening.
Mr. Khaled, please limit your presentation with 10 minutes, only 10 minutes, okay? 10 minutes, only 10
okay.
minutes, okay? Okay, thank you very much.
Maybe less than 10 minutes. Okay, good morning, everybody. Firstly, I want to introduce myself. My name is Khaled Benshina. I am in PhD in Kastamonu University, Business Administration. Today, I want to talk about the relationship between employee satisfaction, customer satisfaction, and business performance in the Libyan hotels. Introduction. From many studies, there is positive relationship between employee satisfaction, customer satisfaction, and business performance. According to Key 2000, just a minute, لا مش نفسها مش نفسها.
Mr. Khaled. Mr. Khaled, your connection went away, I think. Mr. Khaled. Mr. Khaled, are you there? Mr. Khaled. Okay, from Bridan. Mr. Khaled, open your microphone. Mr. Khaled, where
Can
are
you listen to me, doctor?
Okay, we can.
Can you listen to me?
Listening you. We are hearing you. Please go on. Mr. Khaled, you went away again. Mr. Khaled.
Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
I'll be hearing you. Okay.
Okay. My title of my article, the relationship between employee satisfaction, customer satisfaction, and business performance in the Libyan hotels. Through many studies, there is a positive relationship between employee satisfaction, customer satisfaction, and business performance. According to Key 2009, observed that employee satisfaction is a concept used to express employee satisfaction with the work environment and social relation. According to Kuchuk 2020, page 60, observed that the customer satisfaction is measured by expectation and perception. The purpose of this study is to examine the relationship between employee satisfaction and business performance to improve customer satisfaction in the Libyan hotels' performance. Conceptual framework. Customer satisfaction has been one of the most frequently discussed topic in the hotels industry literature. According to John and Yu 2013, observed that when you provide employees with the tools and skills they need, according to they need support employee satisfaction to serve customer better. According to Kuchuk 2020, page 52, observed that employee satisfaction satisfaction as an internal customer that concept used to express how satisfied employee with the work environment, social relation, and their workplace with their jobs. Business performance management is one of the most important topics in the hotels industry. The method, data of this study were collected from employee and customer of 4- and 5-star hotels in Western Libya. This study used a quantitative approach to participate in the study using random sample in the hotels. Customer satisfaction data and employee survey were randomly collected by a series of surveys in the hotels. Employees were directed to fill out questionnaire and post them by social media. The result of 280 valid survey, 200 from the customer survey and 80 from the employee survey. To analyze the survey data, factor analysis and correlation analysis using a statistical batch for social science SPSS. The result of Pearson correlation analysis using the SPSS program and the existence of a statistically significant relation between the study variables to improve customer satisfaction in the Libyan hotels, and these results confirm and agree with some international studies. The results show that there was a stronger relationship between customer satisfaction, business performance, and employee satisfaction. Conclusion and recommendation. In this study aimed to investigate the relationship between employee satisfaction, customer satisfaction, and business performance, this study found that employee satisfaction leads to customer satisfaction, but it's not the opposite. Therefore, hotels should take care of the employee and trying them to enhance their sense of belonging and enhance their responsibility. These results can be explained by the fact that satisfied employee may be more likely to share this feeling with the clients. The results showed that there was a stronger relationship between customer satisfaction, business performance, and employee satisfaction, respectively. Thank you for attention.
Thank you for Mr. Khaled Benshina. Is there any question to Mr. Khaled Benshina? I think there is no question. Thank you. Mr. Abdelnasir Elhariri, are you here? Okay, I think you are here.
Yes, I'm here.
Mr. Abdelnasir, welcome
Yes.
to our Congress. Please limit your presentation in 10 minutes because we have many sessions today.
Inshallah, I try to.
Thank you very much, inshallah.
Inshallah. Good morning, sir. My name is Abdelnasir Elhariri. I'm a lecturer at Search University in Libya. My paper title is the importance of communication. The importance of communication during organizational change process. Right. Organizational change is seen as a necessary concept of organization to combat in an ever change and competitive business environment. Also, the rapid development of information and communication technology has promoted many organizations to actively search for new creative methods, ideas, and solution in improving their existing products, process, system, and technology, referred to as organizational change. And that efficient human resource management practices are important in extracting positive work behaviors among employees, which invariably will lead to organizational change. Despite communication is vital for the effective implementation of organizational change, badly managed change communication is led to rumors and resistance to change, leading to overstatement of the negative aspects of change. As a result, that the process of communication and the implementation of organizational change are two linked processes. Why communication is important during organizational change is also instructed by the planned organizational change dynamics model. Also, the change of effort depends on the ability of the organization to change the individual behavior of individual employees. If the organizational change relates to how the individual tasks of individual employees change, then communication about the change and providing information to these employees is vital. Communication with these employees should be an important and integral part of change efforts and strategies. The researchers focused on the structural stages of change, where communication is vital of a mutual understanding of the problems that organizations have to face in order to meet the challenges and need for change. This conceptual paper will be focuses on the proposals of or goals of organizations have with communication during organizational change, which could help of a better understanding of the process of change and vital communicational effort our organizations should make. That by answer following questions. How is the role of communication enhanced during organizational change process? Also, current paper aims to recognize the importance of effective communication during organizational change process, clarification, the extent contribute of communication in reduce resistance to change. Theoretical framework, communication is action between at least two persons where messages are delivered, received, and directed to among participants. It's proved to be the most significant tools in social life and business management. Furthermore, communication is an important tool constructing common understanding of organization's goals and direction. Therefore, the communication aims to provide the necessary information to employees during answer the following questions: what the change is about, why is it started, what a part of the organization are included in change, and what are its objectives and sectors. Communication process, like the figure, the limits of communication process, the sender, medium, message, noise, and reverse. Finally, the feedback. The limits of communication process, two common elements in every communication exchange are sender and receiver. Sender is a person who has a need or desire to convey an idea or concept to others. The sender encodes the idea by selecting words, symbols, or gestures with which to compose a message. The message is the outcome of encoding, which takes the form of verbal, non-verbal, or writing language. The message is sent through a medium or channel, which is the carrier of the communication. The medium can be a face-to-face conversation, telephone call, email, or written report. Receiver is the individual to whom the message is sent. The receiver decode the received message into meaningful information. Noise is anything that distorts the message. Different perceptions of the message, language, parodies, interpretation, emotion, and attitudes are examples of noise. Finally, feedback occurs when the receiver responds to the sender's message and returns to a message to the sender. When the feedback doesn't occur, the communication process is referred to as one-way communication. Type of communication. There is two types of communication. Formal communication. It is the communication according to which information is transmitted in a formal, respective, arranged, and precisely set framework. Also, which is every communication that contract from the organizational groups. Informal communication is that communication which based on the personal and social relationship between employees within the organization. the importance of communication, determining the goals to be implemented through convening and coordinated all tasks and jobs in between them. Directing and rationalizing on individuals towards serving the goals of organization, and this is event that in the influence and interaction distinctive of organizational communication process. Determine the performance criteria and indicators through the supervisory role in which the communication process is practiced, motivating individuals through interest in their activities that emerge within the communication process, which achieves the degree of interaction and exchange of information. Therefore, the communication process was considered as a life of any organization. Organizational change. Change management is an approach to shifting or transitioning individuals, teams, and organizations from a current state to a desired future state. It is an organizational process aimed at helping change stakeholders to accept and embrace changes in their business environment. Organizational change has become an increasingly perceived phenomenon in both business and human service organizations due to forces such as globalization and political shifts to a new liberalism. Organizational change is a deliberately planned change in organizations, formal structure, systems, process, or product market domain in state to improve the attainment of one or more organizational objectives. Form of organizational changes. Basically, the term organizational change is about significant change in the organization, which could either be reorganization or adding or removing a new product or service. Organizational change can seem like a vague phenomenon that it is helpful if one can think of change in terms of various forms, including and planning change is the change that occur when there is a major sudden surprise to the organization, which causes its members to respond in a highly reactive and disorganized fashion, like when a shift executive suddenly rising from the organization. Planned change is when leaders in the organization recognize the need for a major change and proactively organize a plan to accomplish the change. It is a change that occurs with the successful implementation or a strategic plan for reorganization or other implementation of change of magnitude. Transformation change is much broader, and as a result, the organization will more fundamentally change its culture or the way that operates. For example, complete re-engineering of process, structures, or underlying assumption. Gradual change is the types of change which involves doing something better without necessarily changing the underlying beliefs and values of organization. Corrective change is the one intended to remedy current situation, for example, to improve the poor performance of a product or service or the entire organization, or to reduce burnout in the workplace. Development change, on the other hand, of course, in order to make a successful situation more successful, for example, expanding the number of customers served or duplicating a successful product or service. Factors that create resistance to change. There are factors can undermine change efforts and create resistance are included. Inertia, one of the most powerful force that can affect individual and organization is inertia. The day-to-day demands of work reduce the urgency of implementing the change effort until it slowly finishes within organization. Lack of clear communication. If communication concerning the change is not communicated clearly throughout the organization, individuals will have different perceptions and expectations of the change. Low risk environment. In an organization that doesn't promote change and tends to punish mistakes, individuals develop a resistance to change, preferring instead to continue is safe, low risk behaviors. Lack of sufficient resource. If the organization doesn't have sufficient time, staff, funds, or other resource to fully implement the change effort will be damaged. Goals of communication during organization change. Organization communication commonly has two goals during organization change process. First goal, organization communication should be to inform the employees of their tasks, policies, and other issues of the organization needed for change. This contributes to reducing employees' resistance to organizational change. Second goal, communication is a means to create a community within the organization. For that, a distinction can be made between organization communication as a means to provide information communication and organization communication as a means to create a community spirit. Conclusion: this paper has tried to explain the role of communication during organization change by reflecting the goals of communication and discuss them in relation to organization change. Moreover, effective communication can be the key to change process, so it can help employees get engaged in the change process, as will make them aware of the vision and objectives related to the change. In turn, it helps organization to persuade employees that the status quo is no longer satisfactory, and motivates them to support the change. Also, distinction between the informative function of communication and communication as a mean to create a community was made. Thank you for listening with best regards.
Thank you, Mr. Abdelnasir Elhariri. Is there any question to Mr. Abdelnasir Elhariri? I think there is no one. Can you stop sharing your PowerPoint,
Yes,
Mr.
yes,
Khaled?
I have done.
Okay. From Zoom program, please. Okay. Now, Mr. Ari Bridan and Orhan, Mr. Ari Bridan, I think you are here.
Yes.
Okay. Now, you can start, please, but our time is limited with 10 minutes, please. Please limit your presentation time.
Okay, inshallah.
Okay, inshallah.
Good morning, everybody. Firstly, let me introduce myself. My name is Ali Bridan. I'm originally from Libya and currently live in Turkey. I'm a PhD student at the University of Kastamonu. I lecture at Al-Markib University, Faculty of Economic and Commerce. Today, I would like to present my presentation. The title is The Impact of COVID-19 Pandemic on the relationship between employee performance and customer satisfaction in hotel industry. Introduction, coronavirus disease, COVID-19 is a highly infectious disease with a long incubation period. It is the latest infection disease to rapidly develop worldwide. One of the important goals is to minimize the economic impact of the virus on global scale. The spread of COVID-19 and large-scale travel restriction continues to wreak havoc on global tourism and hospitality industry. According to Mo, 2010 observed that tourists' concept about the security and health risk increase. Epidemic can directly affect individual travel behavior. Fundamentally, this article discusses possible effect of COVID-19 on customer satisfaction and employee performance, on hotel support research and develop knowledge and hotel sector. Literature review, according to Wong 2000, explained that to achieve customer satisfaction, an organization need to provide goods and service to meet the level of customer expectation. Customers feel satisfied when they proceed to service quality match their expectation. The relation between employee performance and customer satisfaction. Terry 2004 defined that customer satisfied as a major factor in employee performance source. Moreover, empty and reliability positive influence employee performance. In addition, expressed to reliability strong affect customer satisfaction. Jones 2009 observed that job stress causes a healthy effect that direct evidence and strong suggestive of work stress effect. Method. For this article, we use the quantitative approach. The quantitative approach consists of 3 parts and 29 items overall: customer satisfaction and service quality and employee performance for impact of COVID-19. We use the for simple size consists about 262 responded. about 62 for employee performance, the target for all the hotels in south of Turkey. And about 200 customers participated as responded to this study. We use the random sample were taken for the hotel staff. For result of this study, we have some result for this study. The result of this study clearly explained the effect of the COVID-19 pandemic in the hotel industry. The result also show the relation between employee performance and customer satisfaction. The research data is consistent with provide empirical study indicating that employee performance is positively correlated with customer satisfaction. It is the first, I think it is the first study to explain the effect of COVID-19 pandemic in hotel industry. Also, this study focused on the relation between employee performance and customer satisfaction. Lastly, conclusion and recommendation. The result of this study showed the importance of continued effort toward better understanding of the effects of coronavirus on the hotel sector or hotel industry. The results show also that job satisfaction has a positive and significant effect on performance of employee in the hotel industry. Efficiently, effective strategy and necessary to enhance travel confidence, such as healthcare and food quality and safety, hygiene and cleanliness. The employee performance has a positive effect on employee satisfaction. The last recommendation in this study attempts to reduce potential service error that may trend the loyalty of hotel guests. Thank you for your time.
Thank you, Mr. Bridan. I think, is there any question to Mr. Bridan? Okay, I think there is no question. So we want to thank all of the participants, both presenters and both audiences. Our next sessions will be continued. Thank you very much again. Now,
Sarkan.
okay.
Thank you very much. Bye-bye.